A 30-year-old mother is lucky today after the quick thinking of a stranger helped save her from a mugging. The mother of two, who was dragged across a Texas shopping center parking lot this week, clinging to her purse while two suspects in a sedan tried to snatch it. That's when the stranger, who was armed, stopped the would-be thieves and forced them to lie on the ground while they waited for the police to arrive. This lady opens the car door, grabs the woman's purse, and they reverse. While they're trying to reverse, the lady is holding onto her purse still, chasing them all the way to the middle. Brenda Vasquez, manager of a Houston Family Dollar store who witnessed the incident, told KHOU. And that Good Samaritan came out, drew his weapon, and scared them. And that's when he pulled them out of the car. A store's surveillance camera pointed towards the parking lot caught the scene. Watch it courtesy of KHOU.
Now to the Good Samaritan who pulled his gun to stop a robbery in the middle of a crowded parking lot. Our Rex Russell is live with the story which was caught on camera. Rex?
Well, it certainly was. You know, this is what happens when people take a stand against crime. There was an attempted purse snatching in this parking lot. This store's surveillance cameras were functioning at the time, and those cameras also captured a Good Samaritan's act of courage. One moment she's about to head into the store, the next she's being pulled across the parking lot. In just seconds, a mom out with her two kids to go shopping becomes the victim of would-be purse snatchers.
It happened so fast, you know.
Brenda Vasquez manages the Family Dollar. The store's surveillance cameras captured it all.
While they're reversing, the lady's holding onto her purse still, chasing them all the way to the middle.
That's when a perfect stranger intervenes. You can see him there in the PT Cruiser at the top of the screen.
And that Good Samaritan came out and drew his weapon and scared them. And then that's when he pulled them out the car.
Someone snapped this picture of the man holding the two suspects at bay. A few minutes later, police arrived.
He's not the one.
Tomasita Medina used her cell phone to capture what happened next.
It was very crazy. It was a crazy day.
A day when a shopping trip would lead to an armed showdown with suspected thieves. Police arrested the male and female suspects. The man who first confronted them purchased some candy for his kids and then drove away.
She was thankful. She was just really scared. She was just thankful that she got her purse back and that everybody helped her. This guy, he's just something else. The way everything happened and how fast it happened and how his reactions to it, I mean, there's nothing really much I can say about that, but he's a hero.
Still no word on who that Good Samaritan is. Police also have not released the name of the victim, but I can tell you that no one was hurt out here and that both of those suspects were taken to the county jail. I'm live in Northeast Houston tonight. Rex Russell, KHOU 11 News.
So nobody was hurt. The Good Samaritan, carrying concealed, was able to stop a crime while it was happening and not even fire a shot. This is what happens in Texas, where people are able to defend themselves. Unfortunately, that's not the case for an unfortunate young man who was killed by police earlier this week. Long Beach police were pursuing a man fleeing from a Target store, security guard, for a crime allegedly committed at the store. So there's even no evidence that a crime was even committed. He was just running from the LAPD. This Sunday, when deputies arrived to help security officers locked in a struggle with the man, he pulled out a large pair of scissors. The man then fled to his vehicle and led the police on a chase which ended at the 1800 block of East Ocean Boulevard. The department claimed that he was refusing commands to exit his vehicle and allegedly got out of his car with a large wooden stick. Then, the man began to flee police, and they initially fired a stun bag at him, which showed to have no effect. At this point, the Long Beach police claimed to have encountered the man and shot him. However, the video shows no such encounter. The man is completely isolated, and it appears that he was shot in cold blood in the back. The following video was published to YouTube after the claims by the Long Beach Police Department were made. And here is the video. I'm going to watch. You're going to show you the whole thing. You can see it for yourself. So this video was shot by a witness, and he was in the car. Struggle ensues for a little while. Let's cut to the chase.
I don't care. Fucked him up.
Nope, too far. So here's what's going on. There's the guy. He's leaving. Doesn't look like he's going that fast. Okay, there he's running. You would think there's police following. You would think, oh, then shots ring out. Police are nowhere to be seen. He's got his hands up in the air. He's struggling. And what did he do? Well, they don't even know. Allegedly committed a crime. It's that specific. Only to find out later, when the police finally approach him, that he was unarmed. And there he is, life pouring out of him, dying at the hands of police. Cowardly.
Are you kidding me?
Cowardly police.
Fucked him up.
So there he is, extinguishing. Where are the police? They say in their statement that they encountered him. So they're just letting him lay there and die. Do you think that he'll ever get his day in court? Do you think he'll ever be able to respond to his accusers? No. They're just going to let him bleed to death. This is how the police are acting. So where are the police? They're not on video anywhere. Where are they at? Just a man dying on the beach. Oh, finally! Okay. A few minutes later, here comes the police. Oh, look how brave they are. Look, they're stepping on him, kicking him around. Oh, these police are so brave. Oh, to be wearing a black uniform and carrying a gun and a badge must be something special. Here they are, picking up a dead man that they just shot and killed. For what reason? Oh, well, he allegedly committed a crime. And then he ran. That must mean he's really bad. Well, that's the end of that video. They carry him off and he's dead. This is what happens when police are the ones to respond to a crime. So let's compare and contrast, okay? A concealed carry, a citizen who has a gun on him legally, he's concealed carrying a gun. Doesn't matter if it's legal or not to me. He is carrying a gun to defend himself. And he sees a crime taking place. He gets out of his car and he stops that crime from happening. Now, that's not always recommended. That's not always a good course of action. But in this case, he was able to stop the crime without firing a single bullet, and everyone was safe, and the purse was retrieved. Everyone's okay. Then a team of police, all armed with guns, all with radios and helicopters at their disposal, with utility belts that carry mace and tasers and beanbag guns. They shoot and kill a man who they don't even know what his crime is. And they just let him bleed alone as a crowd of people watch and video record with their cell phones. Is this the new America? Are you a coward who's just going to stand by and let the police officer gun down innocent people? What about the police in your town? Are you going to allow your neck to be crushed by the boot of tyranny? For how long? How long? Check out copblock.org for more videos like this and see what you can do to hold these police accountable for their individual actions. The last thing to do, absolutely last, avoid violence at all costs. That is their game. They know violence. They get that game. If this video series hasn't made that completely obvious to you by now, I don't know what will. The cops know violence, so you got to pick your own battleground and choose one that is non-violent, because that is where they lose. They lose in the court of public opinion. They lose on video. They lose when you make sound argumentation and address them in conversation and point out the violence inherent in the system. That's where they lose. Don't draw them into a gunfight. They win. They win. No contest. You're dead meat. That is not how you beat the police. You beat the police with peace, because their only tool is violence. And just to round out this segment of this show, the libertarianrepublic.com reported this week about another incident of cops shooting and killing an innocent person who only wanted to leave a party. Dashcam footage has been released of an incident at a teen party where a police officer shot and killed a teenage girl. Witnesses and bystanders in the same vehicle are calling it murder, but the police officer is claiming self-defense. Samantha Ramsey, age 19, is dead from multiple gunshot wounds after trying to leave a house party in Boone County, Kentucky last Saturday morning. Deputy Tyler Brockman claims that he killed her in self-defense when she almost ran him over with her vehicle as she exited the field near where the party occurred. Yeah, it was self-defense. This 19-year-old was just trying to kill the cop. He was in fear for his life. This teenage girl with passengers in her car was just going to use her car for manslaughter, as what happens every day. Wait, no, that doesn't happen. More likely, it's the police who just shoot random drivers. That's what happens every day. Fortunately, this one's on video, and the video release shows Brockman approaching the vehicle as Ramsey tries to drive away. The shooting happens off camera, but passengers and bystanders can be seen entering the frame and wailing in dismay, likely as a result of watching their friend being shot to death at point-blank range. Deputy Brockman reportedly suffered a leg injury and was placed on administrative leave. You know what that means. He's getting paid to not work. You stay home, Brockman. You got injured. Your leg is hurt. Oh, just stay home. We'll keep sending you checks. Don't worry about it. Go shopping on the public's dime. The public, they love paying for you, Brockman. A toxicology report on Ramsey's forthcoming, but I don't expect they're going to find anything. Here is the video. And there is no sound to this. There you can see the smoke from gunfire and friends taking off their shirt, wailing in tears, holding their face, crying on the ground, as lifting their hands to the air, just weeping at seeing their friend shot at point-blank range by the very people who are supposed to protect us. Look at that young boy crying. Yeah. Wheel her into an ambulance, sure. She's already dead, you prick. These cops are out of control. Just one more thing to report on this story because the community is upset. They're not having it. Oh, really? You surprised? The NewYorkDailyNews.com reports the Kentucky woman, the Kentucky community is outraged after a 19-year-old woman shot by a deputy outside of a field party. Now, instead of deputy and officer, these terms need to be replaced by their real names. It is more important to hold personal responsibility for these individuals who murder by using their names. It's Brockman. Forget what his first name was. Samantha Ramsey, 19, was shot by Boone County deputy Saturday. Brockman, not a Boone County deputy Saturday. She was shot by a man. He has a name. Any other shooter commits a murder and you know their name. Their picture is posted everywhere. But not the police. They're gods, you see. Can't hold them personally accountable. Here's her picture. This poor girl will never see light again. A small town in northern Kentucky is grieving and demanding answers from authorities after a deputy, Brockman, not a deputy, a man, he has a name. After Brockman fatally shot a 19-year-old woman during an encounter outside a party early Saturday. Boone County authorities said Samantha Ramsey, 19, rammed Brockman with her car as she left a field party off River Road outside Hebron, south of Cincinnati, around 2 a.m. Brockman, 27, had received a report about possible booze bash in the field near Ohio River and was out of his cruiser to check driver's sobriety. The sheriff's spokesman told the Cincinnati Enquirer. Ramsey, who has had 3 people in the car, ignored his order to stop and instead sped up, slamming into the deputy and sending him sprawling onto the hood, Deputy County Sheriff's spokesman said. So that's an allegation by the police department. And of course, this is always what they say. They were in fear for their lives. Ramsey was struck at least once. She was pronounced dead later at St. Elizabeth's Hospital in Florence. No one else in the car has been injured. Brockman has been placed on administrative leave. That means he's getting paid while the sheriff's department investigates the incident. Gee, do you think they're going to find anything? Do they ever? Cops said the bloody encounter was filmed with the dashboard camera, but that, of course, doesn't matter. And then they reviewed the footage before releasing it to the public. Meanwhile, Ramsey's family and friends were outraged. Some accused Brockman of excessive force, saying he had no reason to open fire on the free-spirited young Covington native, whose friends called her Sam. Any other human would have been put in jail for that, friend Gunmar Bammy said at an emotionally charged vigil outside the site Sunday. He needs to answer for what he did to that family. Chelsea Pendleton, 20, was in the backseat of Ramsey's car. She told the Cincinnati Enquirer Brockman wasn't hit. He leapt onto the car and then opened fire. The cop was in the wrong. I was there. I was in the back seat, she said. That was unnecessary force. He had no right to do that. Pendleton also said Brockman shot first, striking Ramsey and causing her to speed up. That sounds exactly like what actually happened. The cops jump in front of the cars. That gives them the justification to say they were in fear for their lives. And then they can start firing on the car. And then what happens when someone's firing at you? You get the hell away. They're going to kill you. Why else are they shooting at you? I would have done the same thing. I would have hit pedal to the metal and burned rubber. I want to get the hell out of there. Get away from the man who's shooting you. You stay there and he's going to kill you. And that's exactly what happened. And the witnesses, Chelsea Pendleton, she says the police are lying. That dead body weight on the gas pedal after she was that was dead body weight on the gas pedal after she was shot, Pendleton told the newspaper. Brockman has served in the sheriff's department. Served. Yeah, Brockman has been harassing natives since 2010. He suffered a leg injury incident and was treated at a local hospital. Ooh, oh no. Sheriff's a leg injury incident. They don't even say like, oh, he had a bruise or he had a laceration or he had blood on his leg. Like as bad as it is, they're gonna really trump it up and say it's really bad. Like if he got a cut, they're gonna say, oh, he was bleeding profusely from the leg. He had lacerations. He needed stitches. No, they just say a leg injury incident. That means nothing. That means nothing. He's lying. He's making it up. Sheriff's officials didn't comment on remarks made at Sunday's vigil. I just want to know what happened. I want answers, Ramsey's mother, Brandy Stewart, told local Fox 19. The officer involved, he was the last person that looked into my daughter's eyes, that saw that face, and I want answers. What is there to do except for a couple of things? Carry your video camera. Always have one next to you. If you don't have a video camera next to you or on your hip, You're unarmed. The camera is the new gun, and if you're able to hold individuals accountable for their actions on video, then that's the best witness you could have in a jury trial if you make it to trial. Unfortunately, young Ramsey did not. But it's so important, if you're going to be driving, to have a freedom cam. One of these dash cams that takes footage of what's going on and around your camera, around your car. That's how you hold these people accountable, with video evidence, and tell the story, tell the truth like her friend did at the vigil. You have to point out that these cops are liars, they're criminals, they're murderers. And just because they wear a badge and a fancy hat doesn't mean that they have authority over you. They're killing people, left and right. Are we just going to stand up and take it? We must abolish the police departments. We must replace them with our own voluntary systems of support. We can do it. There are apps available. There's already one app called Peacekeeper, which you can download today. Use it, install it, share it with your friends, and that's one way that you can call for emergency help when you are in trouble for abduction, a fire, a break-in, a robbery. Wherever you are. You do not need to call 911. Do not call 911. You're putting yourself at risk. They are not heroes who are there to save you. They are investigators seeking to prosecute criminals. Why would you call them? They are your enemy. Have they not made it clear? All peaceful people, it is your duty to report the truth of what's happening in this world. The propaganda machine will always protect the establishment. The real act of courage is to tell the truth.